Imagine waking up one morning and feeling something different. Your energy is steadier, your skin looks a little brighter in the mirror, your digestion isn't fighting you anymore, and that afternoon crash you used to dread, it just doesn't show up. No expensive supplements, no extreme diet, just one simple green leaf that's been used for thousands of years across Africa, India, and parts of Asia. That leaf is Moringa. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly what can happen inside your body when you commit to taking Moringa every single day for 21 days. I want you to stay with me until the end because what happens in the final week is something most people never even hear about, and it might just change the way you think about your health forever. Now, before we go any further, I want to ask you something, and I genuinely want your answer in the comments below. Have you ever tried Moringa before, even once? Maybe in a tea, a capsule, or sprinkled into a smoothie? Or is this your very first time hearing about it? Drop a simple yes or no in the comments and tell me where you're watching from. I read those comments and it helps me understand who I'm really talking to today. Okay, let's get into it. Moringa oleifera, sometimes called the drumstick tree or the miracle tree, is one of the most nutrient dense plants we know of on this planet. Gram for gram, the leaves contain a remarkable concentration of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and plant compounds that your body actually recognizes and uses. We're talking about vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, potassium, iron, magnesium, and a full range of essential amino acids. That last part is rare because most plants don't deliver complete protein, but moringa comes very close. So when you start taking it consistently, you're not just adding another supplement to your routine. You're filling in the gaps that modern food, with all its processing and depleted soil, has left behind in most of our diets. And that matters because so many of the symptoms we accept as normal, the fatigue, the brain fog, the slow recovery, the cravings, often trace back to subtle nutritional gaps we don't even realize we have. Let me walk you through what tends to happen week by week when you make moringa a daily habit. I want you to understand that everyone is different and your experience may be faster, slower, or simply different from what I describe. But these are the patterns that researchers have observed and that countless people around the world report. In the first 3 days, most people don't notice anything dramatic. And I want you to be prepared for that because this is where most beginners give up. Inside your body, though, something is already happening. Moringa is rich in chlorophyll, and chlorophyll has a gentle alkalizing and cleansing effect on your digestive tract. Your liver, which is constantly working behind the scenes to filter out toxins from food, air, stress, and medications, starts to receive a flood of antioxidants like quercetin, camphorol, and chlorogenic acid. These compounds support the liver's natural detoxification pathways. You may not feel a difference yet, but on the inside, your cells are starting to get reinforcements they've been missing. Some people, especially those who eat a lot of processed food, may notice mild changes in digestion during these first few days, like more regular bowel movements or a little extra gas. That's normal. It's your gut adjusting to the increase in fiber and plant compounds. Drink plenty of water and stay consistent. By day 4, 5, 6, and into the end of the first week, the most common thing I hear people describe is a quiet shift in energy, not a jolt like coffee, not a buzz, just a steadier baseline. The reason is fascinating. Moringa contains iron in a form that your body absorbs reasonably well, along with vitamin C in the same leaf, which actually enhances iron absorption. For people who run a little low on iron, especially women who menstruate, vegetarians, and anyone with a restrictive diet, this combination can start to lift that low grade tiredness that's been hanging around for months. At the same time, the B vitamins in moringa support your mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside every cell that turn food into usable energy. When your mitochondria get the cofactors they need, you simply produce energy more efficiently. That's why people often say around day 7 that they feel less wiped out after lunch or that they're not reaching for that third cup of coffee anymore. Something else begins to happen in week 1 that I want you to pay attention to, and that's your blood sugar response. There's a growing body of research suggesting that moringa leaves contain compounds including isothiocyanates that can help support healthy blood sugar regulation. Now, I want to be careful here. I'm not saying moringa replaces medication, and I'm not saying it cures anything. If you have diabetes or you're on blood sugar medication, you absolutely need to talk to your doctor before adding moringa because the combined effect could push your numbers lower than expected. But for the average person dealing with energy crashes after meals, sugar cravings in the afternoon, or that heavy feeling after a carb rich dinner, moringa can help smooth out those swings. Many people report fewer cravings by the end of the first week, and that alone can change how you eat for the rest of your life. Now we step into week 2, and this is where things start to get more visible. Around day 8 to day 14, several systems in your body begin responding in ways you can actually see and feel. Let's start with your skin. Moringa is loaded with vitamin A, vitamin E, and a wide range of antioxidants that protect your skin from oxidative stress, which is essentially the daily wear and tear caused by pollution, sunlight, stress, and an inflammatory diet. When you flood your body with antioxidants consistently, the skin often becomes the first place you notice a change. People describe it as a softer texture, a more even tone, and a kind of inner glow that didn't come from any cream. Acne prone skin sometimes calms down because moringa has anti inflammatory properties and supports the liver, and the liver is deeply connected to skin clarity. If your liver is overloaded, your skin tends to show it. So, as moringa supports your liver, your skin gets a quieter, cleaner environment to heal in. Your digestion also tends to find a new rhythm in week 2. The fiber in moringa feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, and a healthier gut microbiome influences nearly everything in the body, from immunity to mood to weight regulation. People often notice that their bloating goes down, their bathroom habits become more predictable, and that heavy, sluggish feeling after meals starts to ease. If you've ever felt like your stomach was always working against you, this is one of the changes you'll appreciate the most. Around day 10 to 12, some people start to notice changes in mood and mental clarity. This is not a magic happy pill, and I want you to be realistic. But moringa contains compounds that support healthy levels of inflammation in the body, and chronic low grade inflammation has been linked in research to symptoms of low mood, anxiety, and brain fog. When inflammation goes down, the brain often feels lighter. You may find yourself thinking more clearly, focusing longer, and feeling a little more emotionally even. The magnesium in moringa also plays a role here because magnesium is essential for over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including those involved in stress regulation and sleep quality. Speaking of sleep, this is something I hear a lot during week 2. People say they're falling asleep more easily, sleeping more deeply, and waking up feeling more rested. That alone can transform your life if you've been struggling with poor sleep. Let's also talk about what's happening with your immune system during this stretch. Moringa is rich in vitamin C, zinc, and a class of compounds called polyphenols, all of which support immune function. By the second week of consistent intake, your body has had time to build up reserves of these nutrients. You may notice that you're not catching every little bug going around the office or the school. You may notice that minor cuts heal faster, that recovery from workouts is quicker, and that you feel more resilient overall. Again, this is not a guarantee, and Moringa is not a replacement for vaccines, medical care, or healthy lifestyle basics. But your immune system runs on nutrients, and when you give it the raw materials, it tends to perform better. Now, week 3, days 15 through 21. This is where the deeper, slower changes start to surface, and this is the part most people miss because they quit too early. By the third week, your body has had enough time to actually build new tissue, balance hormones to a small degree, and recalibrate some of its baseline patterns. One of the most important things happening now is the impact on your cholesterol and cardiovascular markers. Several studies have suggested that moringa leaves can support healthy cholesterol levels and healthy blood pressure when used consistently as part of an overall healthy lifestyle. The mechanism appears to involve antioxidants reducing the oxidation of LDL cholesterol, which is the process that makes cholesterol more harmful to your blood vessels. Healthier blood vessels mean better circulation, and better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reaching every part of your body, including your brain, your heart, your muscles, and even your reproductive organs. By day 18 or so, many people report changes in body composition, especially if they've paired moringa with reasonable eating and a bit of movement. This isn't a weight loss miracle, and I want you to be skeptical of anyone who tells you moringa alone will melt fat. What it can do is reduce cravings, stabilize blood sugar, support the liver, reduce inflammation, and provide nutrients that allow your metabolism to function the way it's supposed to. When all those things line up, your body naturally finds it easier to release excess weight, particularly the stubborn weight that builds up around the midsection due to inflammation and insulin resistance. People often notice that their clothes fit a bit looser, not because they lost a dramatic amount of weight, but because their body is less inflamed and holding less water. Hair and nails also tend to show changes by the end of week 3. The protein, biotin precursors, vitamin A, zinc, and iron in moringa all contribute to hair and nail health. Now, hair grows slowly, so you're not going to wake up with a thicker mane in 21 days. But many people notice less shedding, stronger nails that don't peel as easily, and a healthier shine to their hair. If you continue beyond the 21 days, those changes become more obvious over the following months. There's another change in week 3 that's harder to measure but deeply meaningful, and that's how you relate to food. After 3 weeks of giving your body real dense nutrition, your cravings tend to shift. Junk food often loses some of its appeal. You start to crave water more, vegetables more, real meals more. This is not willpower. This is your body recognizing that it's finally being fed what it actually needs and signaling for more of the same. Some of the most powerful long term health transformations begin with this exact shift because once you stop fighting your cravings, healthy eating stops feeling like a battle. Now, I want to be honest with you about a few things because I respect you too much to pretend moringa is perfect. It's not for everyone. If you're pregnant, you should avoid moringa root and bark entirely, and you should talk to your doctor before using even the leaf. If you're on medication for blood pressure, blood sugar, or thyroid conditions, you need to speak with a qualified healthcare provider before starting because moringa can influence those systems and may interact with your prescription. If you have an autoimmune condition, talk to your doctor as well because moringa is immune supportive and that needs to be considered in your specific case. Quality also matters enormously. Cheap, poorly processed moringa can be contaminated, oxidized, or simply weak. Look for organically grown moringa from a reputable source, ideally shade dried to preserve nutrients, with clear sourcing information on the label. Start with a small dose, around half a teaspoon of powder or 1 capsule a day, and gradually work up to 1 to 2 teaspoons or the equivalent. Listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, stop and consult a professional. How you take moringa also makes a difference. You can mix the powder into water, smoothies, soups, or sauces. The taste is earthy and slightly bitter, similar to matcha or spinach, and most people get used to it within a few days. Avoid mixing it into very hot liquids if you can, because excessive heat can damage some of the delicate compounds. Capsules are a fine option if you don't enjoy the taste, and moringa tea is another gentle way to start. Taking it with a meal that contains a little healthy fat, like avocado, olive oil, or nuts, can improve absorption of the fat soluble vitamins it contains. So let's bring it all together. 21 days of consistent moringa, alongside reasonable eating, water, sleep, and movement, can support steadier energy, smoother digestion, clearer skin, calmer mood, better sleep, healthier blood sugar response, stronger immune function, healthier cholesterol and blood pressure markers, and a deeper sense of connection between your body and the food you give it. None of this is magic. All of it is the result of giving your body what it has been quietly asking for. 21 days is not the finish line, it's the door opening. What you do after that is what shapes your long term health. If you've made it this far, I'm proud of you because most people don't take their health seriously enough to learn before they act. So here's what I want you to do. First, talk to your doctor, especially if you're on any medication or have a chronic condition. Second, if you get the green light, choose a high quality Moringa product and commit to 21 days. Third, keep a simple journal. Write down how you feel on day 1, day 7, day 14, and day 21. Notice your energy, your sleep, your digestion, your skin, your mood, and your cravings. The changes can be subtle, and a journal helps you see what you'd otherwise miss. And before you go, I want to hear from you one more time. Are you ready to commit to 21 days of Moringa? Type day 1 I'm in the comments if you are, and come back to this video at the end of your 3 weeks to tell me what changed. Your story might be the thing that inspires someone else watching to take that first step. If this video helped you, share it with someone you love because real health is something we build together. Take care of yourself, listen to your body, and I'll see you in the next one.